Good morning, Tech Fam. It's Wednesday, October 15th, and you're listening to FLYTECH Daily, the podcast that makes your morning smarter in 10 minutes or less. I'm Nick.
And I'm Michelle.
How you doing, Michelle?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I just got a haircut and I'm feeling good. Here are the top 5 tech stories that you don't want to miss.
For our first topic, Spotify adds better parental controls for kids' accounts.
For our second topic, Instagram goes full PG-13 for teen users.
For our third topic, Nvidia's 3999 personal AI supercomputer arrives.
For our fourth topic, Apple TV Plus just renamed itself to Apple TV.
And for our fifth and final topic, Apple's Pro Display XDR might finally get a webcam.
All right, Michelle, let's fly. For our first topic, Spotify's making parenting just a little bit easier by rolling out managed accounts for kids under 13 years old.
These accounts are part of Spotify's premium family plan and lets parents filter explicit content, block songs, and even remove music videos, all within the main Spotify app, not the standalone Spotify Kids one.
So what's the cool part? These child profiles get their own playlists and recommendations without hijacking your Discover Weekly with the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack and Baby Shark.
So Nick, what's a takeaway for our streaming parents?
Spotify just gave parents the aux cord and the control panel. Finally, the whole family can stream without stepping on each other's playlists.
We've got more news for our millennial parents out there. For our second topic, Instagram is turning down the heat for teens. It's rolling out stronger content filter based on, get this, a PG-13 movie standard.
That means less nudity, no risky stunts, fewer F-bombs, and blocked accounts that promote adult content, even in bios or links.
Teens won't be able to DM those accounts, see their comments, or interact at all. Plus, a stricter limited content mode is now available for parents.
Michelle, so what's the takeaway for our Insta scrollers?
Instagram's making your teens feed safer, one muted comment and blocked influencer at a time.
For our third topic, Nvidia's latest flex, a 3,999 desktop machine called DGX Spark, a personal AI supercomputer for researchers, students, and creators.
It's got Nvidia's Grace Blackwell chip, 128 gigabytes of memory, and can handle models with up to 200 billion parameters, all from a regular power outlet.
It's like having a data center on your desk, and companies like Acer, HP, and Dell are building their own versions.
So Nick, what's the takeaway for our AI dreamers?
Spark isn't just a flashy name, it's Nvidia's way of lighting a fire on their personal AI development.
For our fourth topic, Apple just announced that its streaming service, formerly known as Apple TV Plus, will now simply be called Apple TV.
Confusing just a bit. That's also the name of Apple's hardware app and platform. So now Apple TV is on Apple TV via Apple TV. Clear as mud.
Apple hasn't updated the branding across its site yet, and no word on a new logo. This change was quietly dropped in a press release about F1, the movie.
So Michelle, what's the takeaway for our Brad Pitt fans?
Apple just renamed a streaming service to Apple TV, which is also the app on the Apple TV box and the Apple TV app. Got it? Cool.
For our fifth and final story, Apple's 4,999 Pro Display XDR has been a top-tier monitor since it launched in 2019, boasting stunning color accuracy, 6K resolution, and pro-level performance for creatives. But it's always had one weird flaw: no webcam.
That might be about to change. According to the code in the latest macOS Tahoe 26.1 beta, Apple is testing a new model with references to both Pro Display XDR camera and Desk View camera. The second one hints at an ultra-wide lens, likely similar to the center stage feature found in the cheaper Studio display.
If you're not familiar, center stage uses AI automatically to keep you centered during video calls, a must-have in today's hybrid work world. So it's no surprise that Apple wants to bring that experience to pro-level gear.
It's a long overdue upgrade. The Studio display has had a 12 megapixel camera since 2022, while the Pro Display XDR, which costs more than triple, has left users reaching for external webcam.
And Michelle, that's not all. Rumors suggest that this updated XDR could also get a bump to 7K resolution, Thunderbolt 4 or 5, and upgraded display tech, maybe even mini LED. There are even whispers of an entire new display lineup, including an updated studio display codenamed J427, and another mystery model.
So Nick, what's the takeaway for our video call warriors?
The Pro Display XDR might finally be ready for the Zoom era, and if Apple's charging $5,000, it better come with a camera this time.
All right, Nick, let's wrap up these takeaways.
For our first story, Spotify is giving parents more control over what their kids hear without hijacking their own playlists.
For our second story, Instagram just turned PG-13 into a policy to better protect teen users.
For our third story, Nvidia Spark makes AI supercomputing personal. No server rack required.
For our fourth story, Apple TV Plus is now just Apple TV. Try not to get lost in the branding multiverse.
And for our fifth and final story, Apple's Pro Display XDR might finally be ready to look you in the eye. Literally. And that's a wrap for another FLYTECH Daily, the podcast that makes you smarter in 10 minutes or less.
Hit follow and drop us a 5-star review because that's the only review we'll accept.
We'll be back soon. Until next time. Peace.